Okay, let's unpack this. Thinking about starting a business, right? And you're immediately faced with this maze of legal structures. But what if there was a way to kind of get the best of both worlds? The safety net of a company, but with the flexibility of, say, a partnership.
Yeah, and what's really interesting is that, well, this isn't just wishful thinking. There is an option like that.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's becoming super popular for some very, very good reasons.
Absolutely. So today we're doing a deep dive into limited liability partnerships, LLPs. We want to figure out what they are, why they might be, a great fit for you, and what it actually takes to get one set up.
Right.
We're pulling insights from sources like limited liability partnerships, formation and advantages to give you a clear roadmap. So let's get started.
Right.
So when you're launching, say, a small or medium business, choosing that structure feels like, well, a massive first step. And the LLP often comes up as this preferred alternative, a kind of modern corporate form. How does that hybrid nature actually help an entrepreneur?
Well, it's a really powerful combination. An LLP, it genuinely blends the limited liability you'd expect from a company.
Right, the protection part.
Exactly. Meaning, your personal stuff, your house, your car, isn't at risk if the business runs into debt. But you also get the operational ease, the flexibility that you see in a traditional partnership.
Okay.
So this mix, it really cuts down on the compliance headaches and sort of the day-to-day running complexities compared to maybe a private limited company.
That sounds incredibly appealing, especially when you're just starting out. So, okay, the perks. Let's talk tangible benefits. What really stands out with an LLP?
There are quite a few, actually, that tackle common entrepreneur worries. First off, significantly less compliance work.
That's huge.
It really is. Frees up so much time and money you'd otherwise sink into admin. Also, LLPs can register under the Startup India initiative from the government, which opens up, potential support. And then you get those core company advantages. It's its own legal entity, separate from the owners. It has continuous existence. So if a partner leaves, the business doesn't just dissolve. It can own property in its own name. And yes, those lower maintenance costs are a big plus.
And the liability piece we mentioned?
And crucially, yes, that limited liability protects your personal wealth. Oh, and the tax rate is a flat 30%.
So boiling it down, what does this really mean for you, the listener? If you're weighing this option, it feels like it's about getting that balance right.
Precisely.
Protection on one side, but agility to grow on the other. Kind of gives you peace of mind. Okay, so the benefits are clear. The next logical question is, well, how do I actually do this? What do I need to prepare? What's the checklist look like?
Right. Getting started does involve gathering specific documents. So for the designated partners, the main partners running things you'll need, a recent photograph, their PAN card.
That's the tax ID in India.
That's the one, the permanent account number. Or if they're an NRI or a foreign national, a passport works. You'll also need their Aadhaar card, that's the biometric ID, and proof of address, like a recent utility bill, electricity, water, something like that.
Okay, that's for the partners. What about the business address?
Good question. For the office address proof, you need things like the latest water or electricity bill for that location. Or if you're renting a notarized rental agreement, make sure it's in English. If the property is owned, then the sale deed or maybe a property tax receipt. And, importantly, a no objection certificate, a no-see, from the actual property owner saying it's okay to use the premises for the LLP.
Got it. So that covers the core LLP setup, but businesses often need other registrations too, don't they? It probably depends on what the business actually does.
That's exactly right. It varies quite a bit. But generally speaking, most businesses will need GST registration. That's for goods and services tax. If you end up hiring more than 20 employees, then PF registration for Provident Fund kicks in. Then there's professional tax, which depends on the state you're in. And often local licenses are needed, like the Shops and Establishments Act registration, depending on the city or state.
So state-specific stuff too.
Yes. And you also need to think about labor law compliance, things like the Factories Act, ESI for employee insurance, POSH regulations against harassment, and the Labor Welfare Fund. It's a bit of a list, depending on the scale and nature of the business.
Right. Seems like there's a bit to track there. Now, this brings up something I bet a lot of people wonder about. What if you already have a business? Can you convert, say, an existing partnership or even a private company into an LLP?
Yes, absolutely. That's definitely an option. An existing traditional partnership firm can convert. There are specific rules for it. Clause 58 and Schedule 2 of the LLP Act cover that. And similarly, an existing private limited company or even an unlisted public company can also be converted pretty smoothly into an LLP.
That's really useful flexibility. Okay, what about the nuts and bolts like the financial year? Or how you name an LLP? Are there strict rules?
Yes, there are. For the financial year, it's uniform for all LLPs in India. It runs from April 1st to March 31st each year. Always ends March 31st.
Simple enough.
And for the name, this is important, the name must end with either the full phrase Limited Liability Partnership or just the abbreviation LLP. You can't use limited or PVT limited like you would for a company. That's specific to LLPs.
Good to know. And the governing laws.
The main ones are the Limited Liability Partnership Act of 2008, and the detailed rules are in the Limited Liability Partnership Rules of 2009.
Okay. So we've covered quite a bit today, from understanding the LLP's hybrid nature, which is really its core strength, to the very real benefits like easier compliance and that crucial liability protection, right through to the practical steps for getting registered and even converting existing businesses.
Yeah.
It definitely seems like the LLP offers this really compelling mix for entrepreneurs who want that protection without maybe all the complexity of a full company structure.
It really does. And stepping back, looking at the bigger picture, understanding these different structures, the pros and cons, the practicalities, it's just fundamental, isn't it? It's about making smart, informed choices for where you want your business to go.
Exactly. It's all about empowering you, the listener, with the right knowledge. So the question to leave you with is this. Thinking about your goals, your vision, what kind of structure truly aligns with that? How do you balance the need for growth, for protection, and just operational ease? Could an LLP be the key to unlocking your next step? Something to think about.